Once again, you are welcome to the 72 IG implementation program. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can set up your conversion ads on Facebook. There are 3 levels to creating your adverts in the Facebook Ads Manager, because that is where you set up your adverts. It's called the Facebook Ads Manager. So there are 3 levels to actually setting up your adverts in the Facebook Ads Manager. You start from what is called the campaign level. The campaign level is what houses the ad sets and the adverts. So that's where you start from. So from the campaign level, you create your campaign, and then you move to the ad set level, and then you create your ad sets, and then you move to the adverts, and then you create your adverts. So like you can see from this image, the campaign houses the ad sets. That means there can be more than one ad set inside a campaign. And then the ad sets, each ad set houses adverts. So that means inside one ad set, you can have more than one advert inside one ad set. Again, the campaign houses the ad sets, and then the ad set houses the adverts. A campaign objective is the ultimate goal of your marketing campaign, and that is because whenever you want to set up your adverts on Facebook, Facebook is going to ask you what exactly you want to achieve. Do you want to get sales? Do you want to get leads? Do you want to get likes? Do you want video views? Do you want page likes? So Facebook is going to ask you what your objective is. And that is for the Facebook's algorithm to help you optimize your campaign in order for you to achieve whatever your objective is. So the first step to setting up your adverts on Facebook is to choose your campaign objective. And there are various campaign objectives on Facebook. There is brand awareness, there is reach, there is traffic, there is engagement, there is app installs, there is video views, there is lead generation, there is messages, there is conversions, there is catalog sales, there is store traffic. But for this particular purpose, for this our affiliate campaign, which is based on the 72 IG funnel, the objective we are going for is the conversion objective. Based on the 72 IG funnel, what we want to do is to attract quality leads, right? And the best way for us to do that is by using the conversion objective on Facebook. And under the conversion objective, you want to go for leads or complete registration. That is why when we were installing our pixel, we installed our pixel on the thank you page and it says complete registration. So we are going to be going for the conversion objective. So step 2, which is after you have chosen your campaign objective, is to set up your ad sets. And whenever you want to set up your ad sets, the main areas to focus on are the audience you are targeting, where you are sending traffic to. Normally you can send traffic to your website, to your app, to your messenger. Selecting the conversion event you want Facebook to track. And here we want Facebook to track registrations on our website. That is why we installed the Facebook pixel on our thank you page. Then placements. Placement is where you tell Facebook where you want them to show your adverts on their platform or on Instagram. Then I want you to note something. Based on the 30 audiences we chose to start with, what we're going to do first is that we're going to test out these 30 audiences. And the reason why we are testing them out is because we want to know which one of these 30 audiences is promising, which one of them will give us good results. That is why we are going to have to test them out. And that is why by the time we begin to set up our ad sets, we're going to be using small daily budgets, like $5 to $10 for each ad set. Because each of those 30 audiences is going to go into one ad set. So that means you are going to be having like 30 audiences. And then we're going to run those ones for 3 to 4 days. After you've run them for 3 to 4 days, what you want to do is to log in into your account and remove the audiences that are not performing. And then once you've removed them, you want to combine the ones that are performing, you want to combine them into one ad set and now run them together. So it is not compulsory for you to start with the 30 audiences, because this is going to require a lot of budget, because normally 30 times $5 is $150 for a day. For 3 days, that will be $450. If you don't have a lot of money, if your budget is not a lot, you can just start with 5 audiences, your 5 best audiences, and test them. And once they work, you can combine them together and test another 5 audience and combine them together again. So step 3 is where you now set up your adverts. And the main parts of setting up your advert is choosing the Facebook or Instagram page you want to run your advert from, selecting the images or videos you want to use in your adverts, then creating the advert itself. And sometimes you might want to actually select an already existing Facebook page post for your advert. So what this means is that if you have a post on your Facebook page, you can actually select that post and use it to run your advert. So I have some extra tips for you before I go into the demonstration part. And the first one is that whenever you are setting up your adverts, you want to create different ad sets for Instagram adverts. So adverts that we run on Instagram, it is advisable for you to put them in a different ad set. Then number 2, if your advert is more than 100 words, you should format it very well so that it's easier for people to read your advert when they see them. And the reason is because people have very short attention span. So when they see an ad that is so clumsy and it's confusing, they just move past it. They just skip it. And number 3, use the right size of images for your adverts. Some people make the mistake of using images that are smaller. Don't use small images. Use the right size of images for your adverts. Once you log onto Facebook now, you're going to see the recommended size for your images when you are running adverts on Facebook. And the best way to actually run your advert is to run it from the ads manager. Now I'm saying the best way because you can also run the adverts directly from the Facebook page. But the best way for you to actually run your advert is to run it from inside the ads manager. And you can get access to the ads manager by going to business settings and then clicking on ads manager. So let's go ahead and just do the practical version of everything I just explained to you. So right now, this is my business settings. I'm going to click right here. Then I'm going to click on ads manager. Then I'm going to click on create. So as you can see right here, it says choose a campaign objective. And then there are all these campaign objectives right here. So I'll just choose conversions. And then I will scroll down, name your campaign. I'll just call this campaign Traffic Matters, that is TM. Traffic Matters Leads 01. Then I'll click on continue. So over here, I'm going to leave this one as auction type. Then this is the campaign objective, which is conversions. Then I'm going to go to so when using an ad account owned by a business that is new to Facebook product, the maximum amount you can spend per day is $50 across all campaigns. You can gain access to higher spending limits by following our policies for several weeks. What Facebook wants us to do right here is that Facebook doesn't want you to spend more than this amount if you have a new advert account. They want to see if you comply with the ad policies. And if you do that, they're going to keep increasing how much you can spend. So no problem. What we'll just do is I will just change this to 50. So that means we can't spend more than $50 over here. So this area that says campaign budget optimization is something you can actually turn on or turn off. And the reason is because when it comes to setting up your budget for your adverts, you can set it up under campaign and you can also set it up under ad sets. So what I'll just do right here is that I'll just turn it off because I prefer using ad sets for this. Then I'll click on next. Okay, so now I'm actually inside ad set. As you can see right here, it is highlighted ad set. So what I'm going to do right here is that I'm going to create my ad set. But the way I'm going to do it is that I'm going to create one ad set per audience. I'm going to create one ad set per audience. What I mean is that if you look at this notepad, all these audiences that we came up with, I'm not going to use each one of them for an ad set. So over here, I'm going to call this one Canada Visa ad set. Let me just call it Cohen ad set. Conversion event location website, because that is where we have our pixel installed. So we leave this one as website. Then conversion pixel complete registration. If you remember, this is exactly what we did. We installed the pixel on our thank you page that says complete registration. So I'll just select that. I will leave this. I will leave this one as well. Now, budget and schedule. Daily budget, I'll just put $5. You can also use something like maybe just $3, but very tiny budgets won't actually give you the best result. So I recommend using at least $5. That is $5 per day. Then start date, I'll just leave that. So custom audience, that's not what we are using right here. So I'll just leave this space. And I'll come to locations. So I'll just click on edit. Click on this drop down bar actually. People living in this location, people recently in this location, people traveling in this location. So what I actually want is people living in this location. So I'll just click on that. People living in this location, Nigeria. Then age, from my research, I'm going to choose people who are from 25 and 55. 25 to 55. Then all genders, I'm going to leave that one as all genders. Then details targeting, I'll click on edit. Then include people who match. This is where I will now put in that's canadavisa.com. Okay, so that's it right here. Put that in there. Then I'm going to remove this. I'm going to untick this. As you can see, I now have 200,000 people here. If I should tick this, this is going to go to 16 million people, which is what you don't want. So now I have just 200,000 people. Then I'm going to come over here to placements. I'm going to click on manual placements. Then what I will do right here is that I'm going to untick all of this and just leave Facebook. And under Facebook, I just want my ads to show on the newsfeed. Because right now I'm just testing, so I'll just use the newsfeed alone. I'm going to untick all these ones. Alright, so now I have just Facebook newsfeed. Or you know what, let me just leave this as a 65 plus. Okay, then over here I will just leave this one as optimization for app delivery conversions. Let me see what else is there. Okay, conversions, I'll just leave this one as conversions because that's basically what I want. Then cost control, I'll just leave this. So what I'm doing right here is that I'm leaving plenty of this work to the Facebook's algorithm to work and help me find the best people based on the information that they have. So I'll just leave that. I will leave all of this. So as you can see, I'm actually done with the ad set part. I'm done with the ad set part. So I'll just click on next. Okay, this says the link field is required, which I'm going to actually fix below. Now, this is where you create your adverts. So what you just do is that you can name your advert based on different angles that you have. So let's say one of my angles is ugly truth. So I can just put ugly truth here, ugly truth ad. Then I will select the Facebook page that I want the ad to run from, because you might actually have more than one Facebook page. So you have to choose the Facebook page you want the advert to run from. So I'll just leave this one as Travel Matters. Then single image or video, carousel, collection. I will leave this one as single image or video. Then you come over here and then you would add media. This is where you add the image or you add your video. So I'll just click on add image, and then I can upload an image from my computer, or if I have an image already uploaded, I can just select it. So here I will just select this one that I have and click on continue. Then Facebook has this thing over here that says turn image into video. I have not used it before, but then you can try it out and see how it works. And then if you want to change the image, you can just click over here and change the image. Then primary text, tell people what your ad is about. This is actually where you post your adverts. So if you have a long sampler or pre-sell content, this is where you post it. Or if you're using a short advert as well, this is where you post the adverts. So what I'm going to do right here is that I'll just copy, let me just copy one of my adverts. So I'll just copy this right here, and then I'll paste it in here. So what I'm going to do right here is that I want this to be easy for people to read. So I'll just do something like this. I'll just copy a space, something like that. And what I'm going to do is that that's empty space that I copied, I'll just be pasting it to break some of these lines. So I'll just paste it in there. So this is going to make this advert easier for people to read. Then I'm going to copy the link to my article. Okay, not to my article. Now, since what I have here is actually my pre-sale content, that means I'm going to link this one to my opt-in page. So because I said if you are interested, click here to watch the video. So what I'll just do is that I'll just put in the link to my opt-in page right here. Which is travelmatters.com/opt-in. Now make sure you format all of this, right? I'm just doing this because this is for example purposes. You want to make sure that you format all of this. So I'll put in travelmatters.com/opt-in. Then for the headline, now while we are doing this, there's a preview going on here on how your advert is going to show. Okay, so for the headline, okay, I'll just shorten the headline on my opt-in page because this is long. So I'll just shorten this. I'm going to shorten this right here. So I'll just say video the little known immigration program Nigerians are now using. I'll just use something like this. I'm going to put that here as my headline. Then description, this one is optional. Normally I'll just click here for full details again. Then website URL. I'll put the link to my opt-in page again, travelmatters.com/opt-in. Display link optional. Facebook will pick that up all by themselves. Call to action, I like learn more. I'll just leave that one as learn more. And now you can see how my ad is going to show. It's going to start by saying, let's talk about the new method for, this is the first thing people are going to see. And then I'm going to ensure that my Facebook pixel is selected. You can see right here it is in green, which means it is active. And that's all. And once I'm done, all I have to do is to click on publish. Once I'm done, I'll just click on publish. And once I click on publish, it's going to publish this advert, and Facebook will have to approve it. And if you've done everything very well, Facebook is going to approve the advert, and the advert will begin to run immediately. So once you have your first advert set up, the next thing you actually want to do is that you now want to go back and duplicate this ad set right here. But then what you will now do is that you will now be editing the audiences. So you will now be putting in other new audiences. So that means if you are using 30 ad sets, you will now have one ad set per audience. You will now put Domino Del Rey for one particular one. It will still be the same adverts inside all of them, but you'll just be changing the audiences one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, until you have 30. But like I said before, if your ad account is new, Facebook won't allow you to spend a lot of money, so you can just limit this to just 10 ad sets or 5 ad sets. Or if you don't have a lot of money to spend too as well, you can just limit this to just 5 ad sets or 10 ad sets. But the main thing you are doing here is that you want to test and know the audiences that are working. Because once you know the audiences that are working, then you can now spend more money on those audiences. But if you don't do this and then you just put all the audiences together inside one ad set, you won't even know which audiences are working and the ones that are not working. That is why you want to go this path. You want to go with one audience per ad set first, try it out, and then once the ads begin to run, you can now identify the audiences that are working. And then once you know the audiences that are working, you can now take those audiences and now group them inside one ad set and run them together. And the same thing even applies to the adverts you are running. Once you begin to run your advert, you start with 5 different advert angles. But after you've run these 5 ad angles, you know the ones that are working and the ones that are not working. So you can stop the ad angles that are not working and focus more on running the advert angles that are working. And this is the same process you are going to be following to actually create these adverts. And then before you submit your advert, you can actually click on review and actually see. So here we have ad name, Facebook page, format, single image, website URL, Facebook pixel. So once you are done with setting up your adverts, you just click on publish. Okay, I haven't added my payment details, so that is why I can't publish my ads. So let me even show you how you can add your payment details, because you can actually add your payment details before you begin to run your adverts. So let me just show you how you can do that. If we go back to business settings, and then click on your ad accounts. So this is the ad account right here. And then you can click on view payment methods. So you can see right here, right now I have no payment method added. So for me to add my payment method, I'll just click on add payment method. And then I can add my payment method here. That's because once you add your payment method, anytime you are running your advert and then you click on publish, your adverts will be submitted immediately. It won't be bringing up this set of your ad accounting. Your ads will be submitted to Facebook immediately so that you can move on. Now, I'm going to advise you again. if you have a new ad account, you don't want to do too much with your ad account. You want to take things little by little. And the reason for this is because these days, Facebook is very strict with ad accounts that are new. You can see that they've even restricted how much a new ad account can spend per day. So what they are saying now is that if you have a new ad account, you can't spend more than $50 per day. So that is part of their policies right now. So that means you have to take things little by little. You don't have to rush things if you have a new ad account. But once your ad account has been running for a while and then you've not been going against Facebook's policy, they will begin to allow you to run more adverts, to spend more money on their advert platform. So guys, that's basically how you set up your conversion ads. As you can see what I did right here, you start with the campaign and then you go on to the ad sets and then you create your adverts. And then what you want to do again for unconfirmed audiences is that you want to test them out first by running them for about 3 days and spending a tiny budget to run them. So like I said set up a different ad set for each of the 30 audiences and use a small daily budget for this. I recommended $5 to $10 and I said run it for 3 to 4 days. And I said this because the Facebook algorithm requires at least 3 days for it to optimize to help you get the best results. So you have to let it run for at least 3 days. Then after 3 days, you can log in into your account and then you can check out for the ad sets that are not performing very well. So for example, now if you see that some ad sets are giving you leads for too much money, maybe for some ad sets you are getting leads for 0.40 or 0.50, you can pause those ad sets and leave them, but that should be after 3 days. Now this is my recommendation. Normally people don't follow my advice and then they complain when they don't get the kind of result that they want. But if you follow this advice, you're definitely going to get very good results, because this entire 72 ID training is not for small business people. It's actually about how you can scale up to 750K a month, and that requires that you do things differently. But if that is not your plan, you can adjust what I'm teaching you to fit into whatever your plan is. But this is actually what I'm recommending. If you follow it, it's going to help you to scale up. So after you've run your ads for 3 to 4 days, you want to remove the non-performing audiences and combine the performing audiences into one ad set. And when I say the non-performing audiences, this is actually based on the cost per lead. This is based on the amount of money you are spending to acquire one lead. So my recommendation is that the money you are spending to acquire one lead shouldn't be a lot of money. It shouldn't be more than 0.30 or 0.40. It shouldn't be more than that. If it is more than that, then you want to pause the audiences that are taking too much of your money after 3 to 4 days. You want to pause the audiences that are taking too much of your money and then take the audiences that are giving you anything below 0.30 or 0.40 and then take those ones and then combine them into one ad set. So in the next video after this one, it's called the 72 IG Math. And in the 72 IG Math, I actually explain more about these numbers, because you have to understand those numbers so that it can fit into your profitability. So the next video, which is the 72 IG Math video, is going to show you the numbers you should look out for when you are running your conversion-based campaigns on Facebook. So right now you can move to day 8, video 4.